Hey baby, I'm not gonna talk too much because I know that I'll ramble, but this is part of the secret project I've had in the process for a little bit. So I'm gonna read Felicity by Mary Oliver, which is her collection of love poems. It starts off with The Journey, which is accompanied with a quote from Rumi, which each section has. That's "You broke the cage and flew." Don't worry. Things take the time that they take. Don't worry. How many roads did St. Augustine follow before he became St. Augustine? Walking to Indian River. I'm ready for spring, but it hasn't yet arrived. Not yet. Still, I take my walk, looking for any early enhancements. It's mostly attitude, I'm certain. I'll see something. I start down the path, peering in all directions. The mangroves, as always, are standing in their beloved water, their new leaves very small and tender and pale. And look, the way the rising sun strikes them. They could be flowers opening. Roses. Everyone now and again wonders about those questions that have no ready answers. First cause, God's existence. What happens when the curtain goes down and nothing stops it? Not kissing, not going to the mall, not the Super Bowl. Wild roses, I say to them one morning. Do you have the answers? And if you do, would you tell me? The roses laughed softly. Forgive us, they said. But as you can see, we are just now entirely busy being roses. Moments. There are moments that cry out to be fulfilled, like telling someone that you love them, or giving your money away, all of it. Your heart is beating, isn't it? You're not in chains, are you? There is nothing more pathetic than caution, when headlong might save a life, even possibly your own. The world that I live in. I have refused to live locked in the orderly house of of reasons and proof. The world I live in and believe in is wider than that. And anyway, what's wrong with maybe? I am pleased to tell you. Mr. Death, I am pleased to tell you there are rifts in your long black coat. Today, Rumi came visiting, and not for the first time. True, he didn't speak with his tongue, but from memory. And whether he was short or tall, I still don't know. But he was as real as the tree I was under. Just because something's physical doesn't mean it's the greatest. He offered a poem or two, then sauntered on. I sat a while, feeling content, and feeling contentment for the tree also. Isn't everything in the world shared? And one of the poems contained a tree, so of course the tree felt included. That's Rumi, who has no trouble slipping out of your long black coat, Mr. Death. Leaves and blossoms along the way. If you're John Moore, you want trees to live among. If you're Emily, a garden will do. Try to find the right place for yourself. If you can't find it, at least dream of it. When one is alone and lonely, the body gladly lingers in the wind or the rain, or splashes into the cold river, or pushes through the ice-crusted snow. Anything that touches. God or the gods are invisible, quite understandable, but holiness is visible entirely. Some words will never leave God's mouth, no matter how hard you listen. In all the works of Beethoven, you will not find a single lie. All important ideas must include the trees, the mountains, and the rivers. To understand many things, you must reach out of your own condition. For how many years did I wander slowly through the forest? What wonder and glory I would have missed if I had ever been in a hurry. Beauty can both shout and whisper, and still it explains nothing. The point is, you're you, and that's for keeps. I wake close to morning. Why do people keep asking to see God's identity papers? When the darkness opening into morning is more than enough. Certainly, any god might turn away in disgust. Think of Sheba approaching the kingdom of Solomon. Do you think she had to ask, is this the place? Meadowlark. Has anyone seen Meadowlark? I've been looking for probably 40 years now, unsuccessfully. He used to live in the field I crossed many a morning, heading to the woods, truant again from school. There were no meadowlarks in school, which was a good enough reason for me to not want to be there. But now it's more serious. There is no field, neither have the woods survived. So where is the meadowlark? If anyone has seen him, please would you let me know? Post haste. The wildest storm. Yesterday, the wildest storm I ever witnessed flew past, west to east, a shaggy, howling sky beast, flinging hail even as lightning, printed out its sizzling, unreadable language, followed by truly terrible laughter. But no, maybe it wasn't laughter, but a reminder we need, seemingly something to do with power. What could it be? What could it be? What do you think it could be? Cobb Creek. It's morning at the creek edge, and the question is, shall I jump as usual and enjoy, as I have hundreds of times, the casual down thrust of my legs on the other side? Certain facts are unavoidable still. Something in me refuses to abdicate. I don't spend much time on it, I jump. And for the first time in my 77 years, I fall in. What a beautiful splash. Nothing is too small not to be wondered about. The cricket doesn't wonder if there's a heaven, or if there is, if there's room for him. It's fall. Romance is over, still he sings. If he can, he enters a house, through the tiniest crack under the door. Then the house grows colder. He sings slower and slower, then nothing. That must mean something. I don't know what. But certainly it doesn't mean he hasn't been an excellent cricket all his life. Whistling swans. Do you bow your head when you pray, or do you look up into that blue space? Take your choice, prayers fly from all directions. And don't worry about what language you use. God no doubt understands them all. Even when the swans are flying north and making such a ruckus of noise, God is surely listening and understanding. Rumi said, "There is no proof of the soul, but isn't the return of the spring and how it springs up in our hearts a pretty good hint?" Yes, I know, God's silence never breaks, but is that really a problem? There are thousands of voices, after all. And furthermore, don't you imagine, I suggested, that the swans know about as much as we do about the whole business? So listen to them and watch them singing as they fly. Take from it what you can. Storage. When I moved from one house to another, there were many things I had no room for. What does one do? I rented a storage space and filled it. Years passed. Occasionally I went there and looked in, but nothing happened, not a single twinge of the heart. As I grew older, the things I cared about grew fewer, but were more important. So one day I undid the lock and I called the trash man. He took everything. I felt like the little donkey when his burden is finally lifted. Things, burn them, make a beautiful fire. More room in your heart for love, for the trees, for the birds who own nothing. That is the reason they can fly. Humility. Poems arrive ready to begin. Poets are only the transportation. For Tom Shaw, SSJE. Where has this gold come from? It comes from the death of your friend. Will I always, from now on, be this cold? No, it will diminish, but it will always be with you. What is the reason for it? Wasn't your friendship always as beautiful as a flame? That tall distance where the clouds begin, the forge that pounds out lightning, and the black porch where the stars are dressed in light, and arrangements is made for the moon's path. It's these I think of now, after a lifetime of goldfinches, meandering streams, limbs playing, the passionate hands of the sun, the coolness under the trees, talking leaf to leaf, the foxes and the otters sliding on the show, the dolphins for whom no doubt the seas were created, the spray of swallows gathering in autumn. After all of that, the tall distance is what I think of now. This morning, the redbird's eggs have hatched, and already the chicks are chirping for food. They don't know where it's coming from. They just keep shouting, more, more. As to anything else, they haven't had a single thought. Their eyes haven't yet opened. They know nothing about the sky that's waiting, or the thousands, the millions of trees. They don't even know that they have wings. And just like that, like a simple neighborhood event, a miracle is taking place. Okay, and that is the end of the first section.